Hey everybody, welcome back to Sosa in his box. Beautiful. I wanted to introduce assignment 12, which is, I hope, make sure you're doing them in order because everything's kind of chronological, and it will kind of make sense. But assignment 12 is called the Compromise of 1850 and the Fugitive Slave Act. Okay. Instructions for it, it's pretty simple. You're going to read over these sections. Remember that book we used in class that a lot of us liked? I scanned it, and it was a pain in the butt. But you're going to read over these sections, all right, and answer the questions that follow. Okay? It's pretty standard. There is a video, so you're going to read over the sections, then watch the video on the Compromise of 1850, and then you'll answer those 4 questions. Okay? And just like assignment 11, there are 2 questions called Think About It, and most of those things, the answers may not be clearly in the video. That's okay. It's just because I'm requiring you to try to think about how Northerners felt about this compromise and how Southerners felt about this compromise. So just think, kind of how would these 2 groups think about it or feel. So that's part 1, and then the next part is the Fugitive Slave Act. Okay, very similar again. Read the blurb, watch the 2 videos, and then answer the questions. And again, you have the same type of think about it questions. How did Northerners feel? How did Southerners feel? Okay. Now, quick, important, mini Sosa talk, because I know the last one was super long. But the whole thing about before you get to the assignment of the Compromise of 1850, the basic meat of the thing is, after Nat Turner's Rebellion, which you just saw in assignment 11, Southerners and slave owners particularly, get even more suspicious and afraid of slaves, who again outnumber the slave-owning population. So that's scary. And then if they lead this rebellion that's violent, it made white Southern slave owners even more afraid of what they already were kind of suspicious of. So that think about that as that kind of weighs into the Compromise of 1850. And then, after Nat Turner's Rebellion, there's this long period, we're still in the Manifest Destiny and westward expansion phase. So America still wants to get west. We lead this war against Mexico to get a chunk of the land, if you remember the Mexican-American War from westward expansion. So we get that chunk of land in 1848 or so, and then the question comes back up of, well, okay, we got more land, but what do we do with this whole issue with free states versus slave states? Oh my God, the whole thing comes back up. So they need to come up with a new compromise. How do you think, and they need to also think about how do you settle some Southern fears of slaves, and then how do you try to appease the Northerners who are trying to push for abolition? So the Compromise of 1850 and the Fugitive Slave Act is trying to meet that balance. So I want you to think about those types of things. So it's very much a content type of lesson with a couple think about it things. Yeah, so hopefully everyone's doing well, staying safe. Miss you all, and stay tuned for the review videos for assignments 9 and 10. Be good.